January 1st, 2026. The countdown has officially begun. In exactly 20 days, the most feared man in crypto is gone. Gary Gensler is stepping down. His exit on January 20th marks the end of a decade-long war. For years, the SEC ruled by enforcement and shadows. But while the headlines watch the man leaving, the money is watching the law entering. On January 15th, the Senate Banking Committee drops the gavel. This is the Clarity Act. It isn't just another piece of paper from Washington. It is a mechanical pump for the entire global financial system. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are about to explode massively. But it's not because of hype or social media rumors. It is because of a structural supply shock hard-coded into the law. The dam is finally breaking. The institutional flood is here. And there is one hidden clause in Section 205. It is the reason January 2026 is the point of no return. To understand the explosion of 2026, you have to understand the dam. For 10 years, the American crypto market was under siege. It was the era of regulation by enforcement. The SEC didn't issue rules, they issued subpoenas. It started in December 2020 with the attack on Ripple. The agency claimed XRP was an unregistered security. It was a 4-year bloodbath that cost the industry billions. Then came the Great Blitz of June 2023. In a single week, the SEC sued Binance and Coinbase. They labeled nearly every major altcoin, including Solana, as a security. The message was clear: debank the industry. This was Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Kraken was forced to kill its staking service and pay $30 million. Uniswap, the titan of DeFi, was put in the crosshairs by 2024. Regulators were treating digital code like 1940s orange groves. This ambiguity acted as a massive physical barrier. It held back trillions in capital that required legal certainty. Pension funds couldn't buy unregistered securities. Insurance floats couldn't touch active litigation. Innovation fled to Dubai and Singapore, taking $140 billion with it. In Dubai, the government didn't sue developers. They handed them licenses and clear roadmaps. The DMCC and VARA created a crypto sanctuary. They built a $140 billion economy while DC wrote Wells notices. American founders were living in regulatory exile, building the future from a desert city 7,000 miles away. But as of this morning, the Great Return has begun. The Clarity Act is tearing down the digital Berlin Wall. The $140 billion isn't just sitting there anymore. It's coming home, and it's bringing the institutional big money with it. But how does the law actually make the price go up? The answer is hidden in the technical plumbing, specifically Section 205. This is the secret blueprint that legally cleanses the market. The Act creates a jurisdictional split. The SEC handles securities, centralized projects with a boss. The CFTC handles commodities, decentralized networks that belong to the world. And Section 205 introduces the mature blockchain designation. This is the statutory key that unlocks the institutional vaults. To qualify as mature, a network must pass the 20% rule. No single person or group can control more than 20% of the supply. No one can have the unilateral authority to change the source code. Once a blockchain passes this test, it is officially mature. It is no longer a security under the 1933 Act. It becomes a digital commodity. This reclassification is everything. Trillions of dollars in pension funds are prohibited from buying securities. The 20% rule removes that liability shield. Take Solana as the case study. The SEC used to call Sol a security in every legal filing. But under Section 205, Solana is expected to qualify as mature this month. The Solana Foundation holds less than 20% of the supply. They cannot unilaterally shut down the network. This opens the door for the first spot Solana ETFs, but the 20% rule is a double-edged sword. While it clears the path for giants, it creates a regulatory graveyard. Ripple still holds roughly 40% of the XRP supply in escrow. That is a massive control red flag. Unless they burn those tokens, XRP could stay in security limbo. Binance BNB faces the same fate due to its node centralization. This leads us to the maturity paradox. In Washington, maturity is a fancy word for institutional lockdown. A mature blockchain is effectively frozen in its decentralized state. It can't move fast or pivot like a startup anymore. By becoming safe for Wall Street, these assets give up their agility. Then there is the pocket veto loophole. The SEC has exactly 60 days to challenge any maturity filing. Think of it as a 60-day kill window. The project self-certifies, but the SEC can pull the rug. If they find even one centralized server, they can veto the filing. The asset is shoved back into the security category. ETFs are halted. Institutions are forced to liquidate. If they veto, the project is banned from recertifying for 90 days. For 60 days after January 15th, the market will be holding its breath, because the SEC still has the power to pull the rug. The Clarity Act provides the legal permission, but a hidden change in the tax code provides the fuel. On November 10, 2025, the IRS released Revenue Procedure 2025-31. This is the yield unlock. It allows BlackRock and Fidelity to launch staking ETFs. This transforms Ethereum and Solana into digital bonds. In a world of falling interest rates, a 7% yield is a gravity well. When an institution buys these ETFs, the issuer must stake the tokens. These tokens are algorithmically removed from the liquid float. They are effectively deleted from the order book. We are also entering the Treasury singularity. It's the industrialization of the Michael Saylor model. Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, now holds over 670,000 Bitcoin. The secret is their MNAV premium. Strategy's MNAV ratio is currently hovering around 2.5. The market values them at 2.5 times the value of their Bitcoin. This allows them to sell expensive stock to buy cheap Bitcoin. If they sell one share for $250, but it only holds $100 of Bitcoin, they take that $250 and buy $250 of new Bitcoin. This increases the Bitcoin per share for every existing holder. It is a self-reinforcing loop of accumulation. And the new FASB fair value rules are making it a global race. Companies can finally report crypto gains as earnings every quarter. Bitcoin isn't a risk anymore. It's an earnings per share booster. And for Solana, the shock is even more extreme. The community just passed SIMD 0411, the double disinflation upgrade. It cuts projected emissions by 22 million SOL. That is $3 billion of sell pressure erased. The supply sink is now a supply vacuum. The Clarity Act is tearing down the digital Berlin Wall. For years, the internet was balkanized. Regulatory fear geofenced every American IP address. But as of January 2026, the walls are coming down. The $140 billion in capital that fled to Dubai is returning. The US isn't just joining the market, it is swallowing it. But this great reintegration comes with a heavy price. And that sacrifice is privacy. We are watching the Great Privacy Purge. If a coin is untraceable, it is now illegal for a custodian to hold it. Over 70 major exchanges have already delisted Monero and Zcash. The market is being bifurcated. The white market, BTC, ETH and SOL, regulated and monitored. And the dark market, privacy coins, pushed to the fringes. The dream of anonymous money is dying so institutional money can live. So, where does that leave you? January 2026 is the point of no return. The supply shock is no longer a theory. It is a scheduled legislative event. The secret blueprint is active. The infinite money glitch is being run by massive corporations. But don't be fooled by the America First narrative. The US is actually playing catch-up. The EU and the UAE have had these rules for years. Washington isn't leading, they are sprinting to stop the capital flight. The era of the Wild West is over. The era of the digital bond has begun. The rules of the game have changed forever. And in the world of the Clarity Act, there are only two types of people: those who read the blueprint and those who got left behind.